Welcome to Fireside Giants. My name is Alex, your host for today. Make sure to subscribe below if you're new to the YouTube channel, my friends. Much love as always. Giants versus Bucs coming up on Monday. Got our first real injury report for the week, so we know kind of who's going to be out, who's going to be in, and then the Andrew Thomas question, who wasn't listed on the injury report because he's on the IR currently. If you're on injured reserve, you are not listed on the injury report, but there's some positive news there. So we're going to dive right into the injury report for Monday's game. Came out today. So the guys that are out, some impactful players here. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver, suffered that quad injury a couple weeks back. He's been dealing with that. Sterling Shepard, man, just really disappointing at this point. Every year, the guy seems to have some sort of injury, whether it's concussions, whether it's ankle, whether it's a hamstring, whether it's quad now. It just doesn't really seem to end for him. And I think that he hasn't out after this year, but I do think the Giants kind of moved his money around a bit, so it would be inefficient to rather cut him. So I think right now it looks like Sterling Shepard is with us for the remainder of his contract. We'll see. Maybe they can find a trade partner for him next year, but they had an opportunity to do so at this past deadline. They refused to trade anybody, which now seems like a little bit of a problem since we're kind of sitting on a few players that, obviously kind of aren't producing, whether it be Sterling Shepard or Evan Ingram or somebody else. I know Evan Ingram's had a couple touchdowns the last few weeks, which have been helpful, so that's been good. But then you have Lorenzo Carter, third round pick, Dave Gettleman. We know as a GM, his third round selections have been really, really bad over the course of a few years. Lorenzo Carter being another one that's kind of dealt with injuries the past 2 seasons. Of course, the Achilles injury last year. He's had ankle injuries. He had a stomach bug this week. He wasn't able to practice. So he's also listed as out. Lorenzo Carter, unfortunately, we thought he'd have a decent season, at least contribute something, but really hasn't been able to live up to that potential that he once had. As a Georgia product, a decent outside linebacker. Nate Ebner, special teams guy, Joe Judge is one of his guys. He is out with a knee injury. And then Logan Ryan, the big one, the captain of our defense, the guy who really helps that secondary run and function. He has COVID, right? So he tested positive. He is vaccinated. So there was like a potential for him to test negative a couple days in a row. You have to test negative twice in consecutive days to be eligible to play. So Logan Ryan is out for this game. That is a huge loss, right? Logan Ryan being out, will be supplemented by Xavier McKinney and, of course, Julian Love. And I trust those guys, but Logan Ryan, he knows Tom Brady. He knows how to work that defense. He knows the shifts, the changes, what he's got to do, baiting quarterbacks into making bad throws. He's a fumble maestro. The guy forces fumbles more times than Daniel Jones has fumbled in his rookie season. So I'll tell you what, really, really impressive player. And I think he's a key cog in our defense, and losing him is going to be significant no matter how you look at it. They are expecting him to return potentially next week. This is just a really unfortunate situation, just a couple of days before the game, testing positive for COVID. And now we have to move on without arguably our best defender, one of our best defenders. So we'll have to supplement. But, the Bucs have had issues the last couple of weeks. If you put pressure on Tom Brady, you can beat him. And the way I want to put pressure on Brady, interior pressure, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson, those big guys up front need to collapse the pocket from the interior, force Brady to go left, to go right, make him roll out. He's not a good passer on the run. He is best when he steps up in the pocket and then has an opportunity to throw the ball on a second attempt. And I think if you can generate that pressure up front, really collapse the pocket from the interior, you're going to get to Brady. He's not mobile. That's when your guys on the outside have that extra second or two to win their 1v1 battles and get after the quarterback. So interior pressure is going to be the key to this. We still have Adoree Jackson, still have James Bradbury, who have been phenomenal as of late. The players who are in the questionable category, Saquon Barkley with the ankle issue, against Dallas, he had his foot stepped on Jordan Lewis's foot, and then he twisted his ankle, low ankle sprain, still had swelling as of like a week and a half ago. So he's probably going to be fighting through this, a couple of pain meds. We'll do the trick for him on Monday against the Bucs. But expectations that he's going to play. He was running around, doing some good stuff in practice this week, so people are pretty optimistic that he will play. Devontae Booker, also questionable. He's pretty much, I think, guaranteed to play. He has a hip injury that he suffered. He missed a couple of snaps in the last game, but said after the game that he is ready to go, and it shouldn't debilitate him in any way. Colin Gillespia, fullback. He has a calf injury, primary special teams guy. I expect him to play. His role is small enough that they can kind of get away with him being more, just, I guess, that reserve type of guy or that special teams ace. They can get away with him kind of having a knack or a nick or a knack there. and then Kaden Smith with the knee injury. Kaden Smith has been dealing with a knee injury this entire season. He's played every single week, more or less in a reserve kind of role, a backup kind of role, but he has made some impact plays, especially in the blocking game and the run game specifically. So that's been pretty good. And the one that we do really want to talk about is Andrew Thomas, right? Andrew Thomas on IR, can't be listed on the injury report, but there is optimism he's going to play this week. How important is that? Well, as I've been, telling you guys the last couple days, the statistic that comes to mind the most, Daniel Jones averages 275 passing yards, or 285 passing yards through the air. When Andrew Thomas is starting at left tackle. When he's not starting at left tackle, he averages 158 yards through the air, which is just an astronomical difference, right? He had such a great game. The last full game he played, it was against the Saints. It was arguably the best game of his career. He deleted Cam Jordan. He had one quarterback hurry and one pressure. And now we're asking him to do the same against Shaq Barrett, JPP. JPP practiced fully this week, so he's going to be probably active, battling through some injury. Maybe they'll use him in situational pass rush scenarios. That way they can kind of limit and mitigate fatigue and mitigate any re-aggravation of that injury. I think he has a shoulder issue he's been dealing with, and it's pretty bad. So Shaquille Barrett, that's the one we're going to really need to see. But my interesting thought is if Andrew Thomas plays left tackle, if he starts, for the football gods, the graces of the football gods, please give Jason Garrett, the ginger snap, the wherewithal, the knowledge, the just a tad little ginger snap of knowledge, of logic to start Matt Peart at right tackle. Start the guy. Give him opportunities. Nate Solder, bro, washed, man. The laundromat won't even take him. They're like, yo, he's too dirty. So get Matt Peart under right tackle, get Andrew Thomas at left tackle, and start moving forward with your youth. Dave Gettleman said, sometimes the youth has to play. At some point, the youth has to play. Matt Peart, it's time for you to replace Nate Solder at right tackle. The guy is just so bad. And now we have an opportunity to really take a step forward in the running game if Andrew Thomas plays, because Matt Peart has been a great run blocker the last couple of weeks. Big body, huge guy, good balance. His pass pro has been spotty at times. He doesn't have the reps, doesn't have the experience. Andrew Thomas had a full year of reps and experience last year. And Matt Peart did not, obviously. We need Andrew Thomas to be healthy. We need Matt Peart to be healthy as well and really holding down that right tackle spot. So hopefully they can really come in here as a tandem, as a pairing, and really step up and have a good game against the Bucs. We really need it. Otherwise, Daniel Jones is going to have a long afternoon as well. So guys, make sure to subscribe below. Hopefully you enjoyed this little episode breaking down some of the injury report, actives and inactives, and Andrew Thomas and what's going to be going on here. But hopefully you have a fantastic weekend as we prepare for Monday night, and we enjoy, hopefully, what would be a big win for us and the New York Giants as we try to stay in the wild card race. Trying to stay positive here, my friends, but have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Giants video.